back on the horse midstream.
Vanessa, how do you do your consults? Are you doing phone, Zoom, in person? What does that, like the actual process look like for you?
The initial one is just through phone or Zoom, whatever the client is comfortable with. And then basically, typical, hi, how are you? Get to know each other, exchange names. But I really kind of dive into like where they are in the planning process. Like, are you looking for full planning, partial planning, coordination? Like, where are you in your planning process? And then usually from there, I kind of just like pick their brains, kind of see where they're at and kind of help guide them in what package I think would be best for them. Obviously, I do leave that up to them because it is the financial aspect of it too. But I do ask them questions about, the venue itself, who's providing tables and chairs, what time can vendors arrive, what vendors do you already have? Because if you have a vendor I don't like to work with.
Then we politely excuse ourselves from the conversation. Or depending on who that vendor is, we have a reaction and they say, what's up with that? And we say, do you want feedback? And sometimes we get them to change their mind on that vendor.
Yeah. So, and another thing too is if they're hiring me just for coordination, I do send them a referral list. It's pretty extensive list of like each category vendor that I have. And, I tell them like, it's people that I've worked with that I trust, that are organized, have good communication. And during the day of, they're a really great team member to work with. Yeah. But I'm not like, hey, no, you must book these people. It's just, I highly encourage you to, because then I know how, yeah. But I'm like, hey, if you want to pick your own people, that's great. Just try to let me know and I can give you feedback if I know of that person or not. But yeah, as for planning though, usually like 95% of the time, my couples are just booking everybody that I've already sourced and scouted for them. So
I definitely find that, because I have like a big group chat with all the bakers and cake makers over on IG, and I am consistently telling this group like, hey, when you're doing these consultations, because the question is always about getting photos back, right? It's like, are you asking your couples who's the photographer, who's the coordinator, who's the florist ahead of time? Like, built into my consultation process is figuring out who else are you working with? And I don't think that's standard for folks that aren't planners. But when you're working with those vendors day of, it's really helpful to know who else is on the team. Not just because it can like help you do your job better, but we can also offer referrals. If I know that there's gaps, if you don't have a coordinator yet, then I've got a list of them for you. And I do think that as a non-planner vendor, when you take that mindset of like, how can we treat this like a planning session and have a conversation about the overall picture of your wedding instead of just what kind of cake can I sell you? It makes a big difference. Sometimes you're able to like really help guide your clients to like problem solve for themselves ahead of time or hire labor they didn't know that they needed.
And you're solidifying you in their memory as a significant part of their whole experience. And those kinds of impacts are much, much more likely to get a client-based referral later on. Yeah. Oh, not only was this cake beautiful, this cake was also delicious. And Sorsha really helped me figure out a bunch of the rest of my vendors because I hadn't thought about this and I hadn't thought about this.
Well, I mean, speaking of big picture, I am primarily a videographer. However, I've learned that if I provide a network of photographers alongside that service, it's a natural referral for me. Yeah. What my potential clients are looking for are solutions. And if I can wipe a solution for them and check 2 boxes for them, even better. Yeah. And I would even have bakers and planners. They might say, I don't have a planner yet. I just know I need a videographer. And I might say, you need a planner. And I might, send them to this side of the room.
You just got an email today from one of my wedding clients, and big 200-person wedding. They have a venue coordinator for the reception space, but they don't have an actual coordinator. And one of the things that came up during that consultation with this client on my end was they need some catering staff to help break down the cake, and they probably need some rentals. And Marisa was someone whose name I put down on the referral list, and now they're over in her inbox. And some of those things she's going to be able to put out a quote for. Some of them she's not, but she's got referrals for the things she can't do.
Or won't do.
Yeah.
We don't do
That's fine
cake.
too.
We do busing. We can do bartending, like a bunch of those things. I do provide staffing if I'm already the planner, or you have a significant amount of my rentals and you've paid us to set them up. Like if I'm on site for a significant thing, then I will also provide some staffing, but we don't do cake. Nobody that's on my team wants to cut cake. Do you want to cut cake?
Nope.
Right.
Have I done it
Like,
before? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's,
No, like none of us want to cut cake. So in that particular instance, I looked at the date and I was like, the rental income, yes, that'd be great. I'll quote for that. It's right after my big birthday party. I don't want to do it. I don't want to cut cake. I'm going to send them to the waitstaff team because Daniel and all of his team, they will cut cake. They know how. It's part of what they do and they're excited about doing it, instead of me being like, cut your cake.
But during the consultation I had with them 2 months ago, that was an important part of the conversation we had, because what they wanted to do was going to require staff. And so understanding that there was labor that needed to be done day of, because I asked those questions, influenced not just what they ordered from me, but now who they're reaching out to and what they're budgeting for in the future.
If you're a vendor that's not a planner coordinator, please, in your consultation with your clients, think about your product or service from very beginning all the way to the very end of what happens to your product or service. If you are a baker and you're dropping off, please leave something for whoever to box the rest of the cake back in.
Oh my gosh, I forget boxes sometimes.
I know.
like to-go boxes, not just the cake box, but
like
leftover
if
to-go
you can leave the
boxes,
cake box, that's great. If you don't, leave to-go boxes. Like I can't tell you how many times we're pirating. I sent in a couple home, and it was yours, with a tote that was this big because their
plastic,
cake
like,
was
snap
tall,
lid tote.
and I like put it on its side so I could slide the cake in this way, and then put the lid on the front. Emily was packing that up.
All
Oh,
four
you were
of
there
us were
too.
on that job. All
Yeah,
five
all
of
of us were there. Yeah.
My rentals lost a box that day.
That's my fault.
I'm just thinking of the couple that gets home and goes, now what? like I don't have an extra refrigerator for this. Like it's their wedding night and now they're dealing with cake.
That was, well, but no, that is nail on the head. Think about your whole job, the whole day, how it impacts the big picture.
Florists, please come back to strike. I don't want to pick up your flowers.
This is right.
Or-
this is another one. It's
Or
florists
quote
striking
strike
moving.
at least, please.
And if you don't do it, you should let your customers know
that it's something that has to happen.
it has to
Right.
happen. Because you know it has to happen. You
All
don't
of
have to
this
do
Because
it.
it'll fall back on us.
This stuff doesn't magically disappear at the end of the night, at the end of the wedding. Us planners and coordinators know the rentals. If there's rentals there, generally a catering staff is responsible to pack up those rentals, which is nice of them to do when they aren't their rentals. Like, however the catering company ended up having to do that as like it's a regular part of them, bless them for taking it on. And often because they bring them, but there are catering companies that won't. Yeah. And so that's an additional thing that I have to quote for rentals. I have to specify, here's the difference between delivery and setup. Here's the difference between breakdown and pickup. If I'm just doing pickup, you will have all my stuff packed back up and ready to go, and all the plates are scraped, and they are all in crates, and they are in this spot where I dropped them off at 10 o'clock when I show up to pick it up. Yeah. And if I'm breaking down, if you pay me to breaking down is not busing. That's like, there's layers of things that have to happen to everything that's happening on your day.
In my line of work, the process is a little bit ambiguous to the clients. They have probably never hired a videographer, and chances are they will never hire a videographer again. Mm-hmm. So they hire me to capture their day.
Our clients, obviously sometimes people get married more than once, but for the most part, as a general statement, I think we can say most of our clients have never planned an event like this before. We have done a lot of these. So there's so much that our clients just don't know. And this leads to a lot of issues for like the wedding tax and a lot of misconceptions about wedding vendors in general.
I keep hoping every year on Instagram or Threads that the wedding tax conversation will get settled. And then a few months later, some ding-dong bride, not sorry, will pick it up and be like, they're all charging me so much money. And then all of the rest of us are like, do you have any idea what is going into this day and what all we have to pay for, and that we have to pay taxes? And as a small business, we almost get taxed twice. And like, we sometimes have to buy our own health insurance, and just the overhead alone, not to mention the actual time that I'm spending using my brain for your wedding.
Well, so much of it is invisible. So much of it our clients don't know. So I think that it's really critical, especially when you are a vendor who's only going to have a couple really serious conversations with your client, because you're not going through multiple meetings with them, right? To actually treat that as not just gathering information, but also educating your clients, because they don't know. This information isn't familiar to them. They don't have any insight. This is the first time they've done it. And the more that you can help them see, here's what you're asking for, here's what you want, and here's what it's really going to take to get there, they're able to make better decisions from the start and have a much better experience. And if you can give that to your clients, it really means the whole process is better, because people be spending a lot of money on us.
From the planner perspective too, if you as a planner or a coordinator in that vibe check are asking these kinds of questions, it only builds their respect for you, which matters when you give them referrals for vendors, that they're going to trust your opinion and your esteem of those vendors in turn. So everybody's going to have a better day if they hire the vendors that we want them to hire. And if we want them to listen to us, we have to build in that respect from the beginning. And speaking authoritatively and being able to articulate the value of the service that we're providing is the quickest way to do that.
What are some questions that are non-negotiable in your consultation game?
Who's setting up tables and chairs? Who's setting up your tablescapes, like your plates, your utensils, your water goblets, your napkins? Because if catering's not coming to do any of that and they're just drop and go, or they're not a full service caterer, then who's that going to fall on? Me, family, friends? Do we need to hire wait staff to come in or additional people? So that's definitely something that is something I always ask.
My first ones are head count. Where are the tables and chairs coming from and who are they setting up? One of mine that I always ask is what's happening with the garbage at the end of the night, because there's so many venues. Any of you out on the East Coast, you have no idea what the wild freaking West it is out here with venues that they don't include catering. And like East Coast planners are like, what do you mean they don't include catering? They don't include tablecloths. Like, some of these places are a freaking field that charges $5,000 for you to be in their field, and you have to bring in a restroom.
Okay.
$5,000, they'll charge you $7,000.
So we have to determine where's the garbage going at the end of the night and who has to haul it away, and nobody wants to.
They'll still put it on you.
And I say I don't haul garbage. I used to charge for it, and then when I had to throw stinky garbage in the back of my van with all my stuff, I'm like, listen, this is on my no list now.
Throwing out garbage. There was some fish.
No!
There was fish soup that me and my assistant had a haul, and the bag was leaking. Let's just say I was so excited to get home and just...
Was that a
and
prank?
burn your car?
Yeah, it was very smelly at the end of the night. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not taking garbage out again.
I guess my top questions are always the overall vibes for the event. Like what they're...
Emily absolutely goes on vibes first. Yep. That tracks.
Yep. Because I'm not me without vibes.
Name 5 Fall Out Boy songs.
Stop it.
How many, or what's the estimated guest count? Who are the other vendors involved? Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Tony, what about you? For videography, what are some of your non-negotiable questions that or we haven't even kind of talked about it. Do you do consultations with your clients?
Yes, I do.
Are you just trying to book them through your website and you're the counterpoint?
This is a part of my business that has the most opportunity for growth, which means I suck at that part.
Speaking of putting everybody on the spot today, I'm so sorry, you guys.
No, I need to be on the spot, and if you're like me, do like them.
What the hell does that mean?
we need to save that clip and recycle it?
Yes, all the
You're
time.
like me, do it like them.
I'm going to put that just clip in stories scheduled like at least once a month.
Flowchart.
So
If you
this is
suck, be like them.
this has been really important to my business this year in order to keep having a business. We've kind of touched on this in previous episodes, but one of the big transitions that I've made is away from celebration cakes and into just doing weddings. And in order for that to be financially viable, it means that I have to be booking weddings consistently. And in order to do that, it means that I have to be getting people not only to come find me, but then nailing those sales and locking them in at a much higher rate.
Is in the booking and consultation process, do you have something in place for every step of where these people are in? If they are last minute and asking you to step into their process last minute, are you ready to go with the questions that you need to answer? There may be additional things you need to consider if you're stepping in last minute. Or if you're a baker and they ask you for 2 years out to bake their wedding cake and you're like, I don't want to book that far out. Sorry, you're a BFG now. You have to book wedding cakes 2 years out. You're going to figure out in your workflow
I have questions there. Actually,
where to slot
you're
those
right.
people in.
You're right, because I've gotten a couple, and I have some consultations scheduled with 2027 brides, and that is a little nerve-wracking to me because these are obviously people who have peak dates and are very on top of things.
Right.
And booking peak dates 2 years out when I know my prices are going to be higher next year has me asking questions that probably need some answers before I hop on those phone calls. And I think that it's really, really important to be very prepared, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Like, I'm handling this part of my business so differently than I ever had before. And the flip side is now I have a calendar with a lot of weddings on it at rates that are actually fair to what I'm doing. And I'm feeling really successful with it. And it's pretty awesome. I'm excited about it. But it's required a tremendous shift in mindset. And in really understanding that if you want to be making money, like good money, doing something and providing an upscale service and like booking clients with confidence, you have to give them a level of customer service that they weren't getting from me before.
No, yeah. But I think I'm a couple of steps behind you because I've been moving up the problems and making them happen earlier, or at least the discussions that led to problems. So like things that were problems with delivery, I've put in my contract.
Yeah.
And so I've put that in my contract. So before I even have them sign the official contract, I have a questionnaire that I send out with details about music and delivery and things that, like the details that they should expect. And so then I use that questionnaire to build their final contract. So like, I think the next step would be to push that forward into my actual consultation appointment. And then even further than that, where am I getting my leads? Am my leads going to lead to the people who do the things that I would put in that questionnaire, that I would put in that contract, and that I would do at the wedding day, and that I would deliver on the delivery day?
Perfect transition.
Really?
Where are you getting your leads? Because
This is something I don't know, and we realized this.
So-
where are these people finding me?
So I try to push everybody to contact me through my website if I can, because it's an auto form that asks for a couple specific pieces of information. And one of them is, how did you hear about me? And so I do try to use my website as a sales funnel just to at least collect that amount of information, because I want to know where my efforts are paying off. Now, I will say I don't do any kind of paid advertising. And so I'm not really concerned with, oh, did this particular ad funnel them in, because I don't have any paid ads out there. So I want to know, did you find me on Instagram? That camera's dead. Did you find me on Instagram? Did you meet me at a wedding show? Were you referred by another vendor? Were you referred by another client? Because those are the main ways that anybody gets my name or my information. And I was talking to Daphne, and I said, well, how do you get, she said, I want to network with more vendors because I need to get more bookings, and I should, who should I be networking with to get more things coming through my funnel? And I said, well, how do you get your business now? And she said, most of my business comes through my website. And I said, no, it doesn't.
It's like, how are people
How did they
finding
get
that?
to your website in the first place?
This is something I need to put on my intake form is, how did you find me? Was it a
Yes.
Google search? Was it social media? Was it a referral?
Just because the first time you're hearing about them is through your website does not mean that's how they found you. That's just how they're getting into your funnel.
Right.
I have that as an option on my intake form is how did you find me? And it's Google, The Knot, Wedding Wire, Facebook, Instagram, referral. If it's a referral, who is it from?
Right.
You know, whether it's a photographer or another planner or a florist, because then I could also reach out and thank them and say, hey, thank you so much for this referral. Right. But so I use Squarespace for my website, but I could see the analytics. And for example, one of them was like a Google search, but it showed me the actual like
The path.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
actually it was vendor besties. I was like, what?
Hey.
So I went onto your website. I was like, oh wait, they have me in my link. I was like, that's amazing. Like, I
No
didn't-
way.
Yeah,
That
for
Yeah.
those that don't know,
Yeah.
which is half of my team,
You got 1 minute.
on the vendor besties page, it has a list of besties, and it's all of the planners in our network that we approve of, and you can get to their website from that. Look at Tony's face.
1 minute, just don't.
Okay, just don't.
1 minute, just don't.
Just don't act surprised when you find out information that maybe you
What?
shouldn't.
Just
Know
don't
your
skip
leads.
the consultation process. Don't treat it like a sales pitch.
Don't skip in general.
You could trip.
And break your back.
Just don't treat the consultation like a sales pitch. Use it as,
Good thing we still have the wide angle.
guys,
Please continue.
what was I going to say? Hold on, I actually had it like really good.
Just descend into chaos.
I did.
What did I say? There's so many words
Just
on
don't.
here.
You typed them.
I had a lot of feelings.
Please keep all of this.
Pisces.
Just don't skip out on the consult.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't assume that it's not important where clients are finding you.
Just don't end an
Just
episode
don't
like
assume
this.
that the planner does everything because we have certain roles. Catering has certain roles. Videography has certain roles. And yes, we're planners and we help with everything as the best as we can, but we can only do so much.
Your consultation should be a key strategizing session, not just a sales pitch.
Just
It took.
tell us in the comments what you
for tea.
do. Like and subscribe to the comments.
We did it!
Link in bio.
Lincoln bio. Lincoln
Link in
Park.
blog.
I've been trying to get ahead, but I keep falling short. Sometimes it's tough getting out of bed when I'm feeling out of sorts. Call it what you will. It's just the art of standing still. I'm just trying to get it right. Call up my besties for a ride. You know the best is yet to come. Where we go, we hold strong. We've done this for so long. It's like we're stuck out on our run. You know the best is yet to come. Where we've been, they can't go. The only place we know, 1,000,000 miles from the sun. You know the best is yet to come.
We're back.
Kelly, don't
that
have to water. You just get forced
Colloquialism?
to drink.
Yes.
We never left.
Don't switch horses midstream. You might drown.
Force it to
Don't
pee.
change your focus in the middle of a big, heavy project.
Who got 2 horses?
I want
In
two
this
horses.
economy?
You got a horse following your horse?
I have a horse.
Anyone, little pony.
Right.
Trot around on. Bring it to the weddings.
Hi.